And thank you for joining us today. My name is Rodil Mateo. I'm a mortgage officer with Broadview Mortgage, and today we're going to be talking about the bare naked truth about buying a condo. And today's speaker is Jonathan Fleming. He's a realtor with RE/MAX Cord in the San Francisco Bay Area. Jonathan, please come on the call and introduce yourself.
Hey, thank you for having me today, Rodil. We're going to talk about condos, I would imagine, buying a condo, the bare naked truth about buying a condo. My name is Jonathan Fleming. I'm a Bay Area real estate agent. Probably have seen my podcast show on iTunes, The Jonathan Fleming Show, as well as my website address, which is localhouseinfo.com. So, Rodil, let's make this interesting and just roll right into talking about the Bay Area real estate market. I imagine that's what we're going to talk about today.
Exactly. Before we get into the first question, can you give us a brief overview of what's going on today in the San Francisco and Oakland housing markets?
Well, I think one of the biggest things happening this year in terms of, as it pertains to condos, that is that FHA is no longer letting people do spot approvals. Spot approvals were a way, if your building was not already FHA approved for lending purposes, that you could get it done right there in a faster format. Nowadays, coming into 2011, FHA no longer allows that. So basically, if your development or the development you're trying to buy is not FHA certified, you cannot get a loan on it. You have to take other means in which to get a loan. You can still probably find other, as Rodil probably could tell you, other alternative means of financing that require a little bit more down than normal. However, you still can do it, but that's one of the biggest things I think affecting condos right now. Also, I'm noticing a lower supply of condos on the market, especially in East Bay cities, especially in counties like Alameda County right now, where just a very low amount of price condos on the market relative to the other cities that you go to, like Hercules, for example, has a different stock of condos on the market because Hercules carries a lot more townhouse-style design. And I think when you look at the cities of Contra Costa County, the counties versus Alameda County, sometimes you're going to get a little bit more cheaper ones in Contra Costa County versus Alameda County. Overall, I'm noticing a lower inventory of condos on the market, and I'm also noticing interest rates are still relatively low for most people.
Okay, great. It's good information. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide and start in with the first question here.
Let's take a look. The first question we're going to talk about is?
Okay, real common question that home buyers have that are trying to decide what kind of home to buy is, what do you think are the advantages of a condo versus other types of homes?
Well, one of the things, just one that pops up to me sometimes is lifestyle. Most people, lifestyle, most condo buyers are usually people who are living in apartments or usually people who are busy, have a very busy lifestyle. More people buying their first home. And let's just look at all of those real fast and say that, okay, say you're buying your first home and you need your monthly payments to be fixed every month. Your mortgage is fixed, but what you cannot, what's not always fixed in terms of pricing when you own a home is your maintenance. Anything that happens to a house, whether the roof flies off or anything, that's really, all those costs are 100% borne by the owner most likely, which in the condo, you get that security of paying HOA dues each month that covers you from, unneeded costs, repairs. You also have certain amenities that you normally wouldn't have with a house. Sometimes with a condo, people love the fact that, they can go out of town and their condo is usually connected to other condos or townhouses. So there's a sense of security with a condo as well, or a townhouse. Okay. You do have managed upkeep, which is we're talking about the homeowner association dues that you pay each month. That sometimes covers hot water, covers like insurance, it covers garbage disposal, it covers swimming pool maintenance, elevators, anything external to the property. For example, the roof, paint. For example, one of my clients, she moved into her townhouse. 2 years later, they needed to paint it. So they did pretty much, that was all paid via the HOA, Homeowner Association. The difference is with a condo and a house is you just get shared costs when it comes to keeping up the property, but you still get the same things that you get as a homeowner, which is great appreciation, tax write-off, tax deductions, and home ownership.
Okay, good. And I know for a lot of first-time home buyers, depending on their means, it can be a more affordable way to get their first foot into the housing market.
Oh, it's an incredible affordable way because, for one, it's a lot less stress. If you're not one of those people that likes to be fixed on a house, or if you didn't buy a totally new house, a condo is a great way to go to get yourself out of just having to pay on costs that you cannot control. When you're buying your first home or property, you want to be able to control the cost each month of it, meaning that it's almost like you don't want to. I've met people who want to buy a fixer-upper house, and they buy it, and then each month they're just, going into their savings to try to make the house better and better and better. With a condo, you know what you're getting.
Well, good. That's got great information there. Let's go to our next question here. How is the buying process for buying a condo different than buying a detached home?
Well, one of the things I always start off with, I've always said that, whenever I sell a house to somebody, we do inspections that are just above. We go over the line in terms of inspections. We do everything. One of the biggest things I like to point out to people when you're buying a condo is in greater inspection of HOA documents, knowing what the budgets are, knowing what's been fixed, know if there's any pending lawsuits, reading the minutes of the HOA association. And then even when you buy the place, become a member of your homeowners association so you can have a say in what's going on at times. Be active. But one of the biggest things you have to do is make sure you know the history of the property, and usually that's in the form of your HOA documents. And working with a good realtor, and one of the things about it is, a lot of my clients, we sit down and we go through their paperwork for days and make sure we find anything that we have questions on, and because we don't want any surprises. We want to know if there's going to be a rise in HOA, monthly payments, or we want to just know anything. Has there been what type of construction has been done? What are future upgrades on the property? There are just things that we're trying to learn and understand fully about the property.
Okay, great. Thanks for answering that. Another question coming up here is, and this is commonly home buyers ask this or wonder about it, is do two-bedroom condos sell better than one-bedroom condos?
Well, see, that's a crazy question, most of the time that people get thrown into their heads, usually by third party. It could be an overly concerned friend, or, sometimes it's something that they read on the internet. When the real estate market goes up, everything that's a real property goes up, whether it be a mobile home, a piece of whatever. It goes up in value. There are plenty of people out there who love one-bedroom condos and buy and trade them. I've had situations where I've sold one-bedroom condos for more money than two-bedroom condos. Why? Real estate is all about location, location, location.
So you're saying depending on if a one-bedroom condo is in a really hot market or a really hot location, it might actually be worth more than a two-bedroom condo in a somewhat more cooler market.
In a big way. And sometimes with a one-bedroom, one bedroom can actually have a better layout. I mean, you got cities like San Francisco, Oakland, where that one-bedroom condo is sitting right on Lake Merritt with great views, or in San Francisco, you're right there facing the Embarcadero, looking at the bay, looking at the Bay Bridge, looking at the water, or you're just in a nice, South Beach area, San Francisco, near the ballpark, and you have a one-bedroom condo, and it's incredible, just incredible living. So you don't have to worry about those crazy things that people sometimes put out there about one-bedroom versus two-bedroom. Obviously, Bill Gates' home is going to probably sell better than a one-bedroom condo, but that's probably a 30,000 square feet house owned by a guy who's worth $50 billion.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for answering that. Okay, actually, you touched on this earlier, but another common question home buyers have is, well, what's the truth about HOA dues or homeowner association dues? That's something that worries some home buyers because they just don't understand exactly what it is and how that works.
Well, one of the biggest things that could worry anybody is what you don't know. And when you know everything that's going on with the property, whether you know if there's upcoming lawsuits, what type of maintenance schedule the building is on, you learn all those things through investigating and reading your HOA docs. What type of insurance they're carrying, what does the HOA cover? The truth is really just doing your due diligence, working with a solid real estate agent that's going to go over all that paperwork with you and monitor the whole process for you, and, at the same time explain everything to you as you go through the process. You really have to do your homework when it comes to just reading, studying, and understanding the HOA documents so you can know everything that's gone on in the building the last 5 or 10 years of its existence. That's
so
how you really, well, let me just say this. The only way to really change the future is to understand the present. And you understand the present by going over the HOA documents, getting your home inspections done on the property that you're buying, and making sure that everything meets your satisfaction.
So you mentioned earlier, like one difference with owning a condo is the homeowners association fees you're paying. You're sort of prepaying for your exterior or outside maintenance.
You're also you're not. I mean, not so much prepaying, because the reality of it, each HOA is mandated, you know, to a degree to carry a certain amount of budget to save money realistically. So each month that somebody's, like, for example, paying into their HOA, they're also getting upkeep of the grounds. They're also getting their garbage bills paid, you know, because some people come pick up the garbage. And they're also paying what is called hazard insurance, which you would have if you were buying a house anyway. So your hazard insurance is going to be included, meaning that if something hazardous happens to the house, you're covered. Or in this case, the condo.
Okay, great. That's great information. And of course, every home buyer wants to know, where they can get a good deal. So, in your Bay Area market, what areas do you think are particularly hot or desirable for buying a good deal, getting a good deal on a condo?
Well, I noticed a lot of people listen to this online seminar or podcast, as we say nowadays. I mean, if you're new to the Bay Area, I think the East Bay, relative to the South Bay or San Francisco, I think the East Bay is just incredibly cheaper right now than the rest of the Bay Area. And I think in the East Bay cities, whether it's Oakland, San Leandro, Berkeley, Hayward, even going to some parts of Walnut Creek, I just think you're going to enjoy a very good, cheaper priced properties right now in the East Bay. And once the East Bay comes, even grows back in terms of what it normally is worth, you're gonna, your appreciation will really be, it's gonna be. I can't guarantee the future, but I know the Bay Area, the East Bay as a whole, is much cheaper than the rest of the Bay Area. And if you're looking to buy your first home, the East Bay has incredible weather. Cities like Oakland, you have a good amount of inventory of condos. You have West Oakland. You have great places like Jack London Square, where you can basically take the ferry from Jack London Square over to San Francisco and be right there on the Embarcadero. You can go to the Giants game, or if you're an A's fan, same thing. You walk up the street, take BART in downtown Oakland to the Oakland A's game, and be there in probably less than 10 minutes. So each city, especially like cities like Oakland, offers some incredible condos around in Jack London Square, Lake Merritt area, where they're doing some incredible things right now.
Okay, great. I think that wraps up our questions for today. So, of course, if any of our viewers or listeners want to get in touch with us, we'll go to the next slide here, and we'll give you Jonathan's and mine's contact information.
And I also just wanted to say is that just go. I mean, if you go to localhouseinfo.com, I have a ton of condos on there. You can go. You can take a look at. And just one of the things that we want to always tell people is, knowledge is power. And one of the biggest ways to get that knowledge is working with a professional, talented person who has experience working in the San Francisco Bay Area housing market. I'm born and raised here in the Bay Area, and definitely I feel that if I'm helping people buy a home or a condo or whichever kind of property in the Bay Area, I think you're truly working with somebody that knows the lay of the land for sure. Thanks for having me on today, Rodil.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Again, that's Jonathan Fleming with RE/MAX Accord, Bay Area Realtor. My name is Rodil San Mateo with Broadview Mortgage. You can visit me at my website at eastbayloantips.com. And thank you for attending our show. Please attend next time to get some great housing information.